So we should spend the entire period of 10 years in the worship of the God. One thing, sir.
Yeah, very nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It is in this material world, people are like a silkworm inside that imprisoned in the cocoon, and so they are not able to come out. They are entangled with the material things, and they are not spending more time spiritually.
They're caught up in all the.
Finally, one more thing. Everything should be taught in the young age. That's the age where you catch up everything. Yeah.
Exactly. That's important.
Or attached to money.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the Prahlad Maharaj teaching, is that Kaumarat Achare Pragnyo Dharman Bhagavatam, that one must actually start learning any activity, even spiritual activity or material activity, whatever it is. We have to start from the early age. We cannot postpone things. Yeah. So these points and all we discussed. Yes. So the example of Kukunya, Mataji shared. Very nice. Thank you. So like this, Prahlad Maharaj continues to give instruction to his classmates. And today we will see some of those instructions till we have. So we will see that. So we are going to see from Shloka 20 to 23. Om Paravareshu Bhuteshu Brahmantastavaredishu Bhautikeshu Vikareshu Bhuteshvata Mahatsucha Guneshu Gunasamyecha Gunavitikare Tata Eka Evo Parohi Atma Bhagavan Ishvaro Avyayah Pratyagatma Swarupena Drishya Rupena Cha Swayam Vyapya Vyapaka Nirdesho Hi Anirdesho Avikalpitah केवलानुभवानंद स्वरूप परमेश्वरः माययांतर्हितैश्वर्य ईयते गुणसर्गया. So it is 4 shlokas combined together. The translation is big. Can anyone would like to read the translation?
LIG?
Yeah, please.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Controller, who is infallible and indefatigable, is present in different forms of life. From the inert living beings, Stavara, such as plants, to Brahma, the foremost living being, is also present in the varieties of material creations and the material elements, the total material energy and the modes of material nature, Sattva, Guna, Rajo, Guna, and Tamo Guna, as well as the unmanifested material nature and the false ego. Although he is one, he is present everywhere, and he is also the transcendental super soul, the cause of all causes, who is present as the observer in the course of the arts of all living entities. He is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the all-pervading super soul. But actually, he cannot be indicated. He is changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as a supreme Satchit Ananta, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Being covered by the curtain of external energy, to the atheist, he appears non-existent.
Thank you so much. So it's a big translation because 4 shloka. So we will try to analyze this shloka part by part. First, Prahlad is talking about how the Supreme Lord is present everywhere. So that's what he's trying to teach his classmates. So we know God is there, but we should also know how he is present everywhere. So that's what he's telling to his classmates now. So first he says that he is present in different forms of life, right? He is all pervading. So because he is the supreme controller of all living beings. So what does it mean by the supreme controller? That there should be an ultimate controller behind all controllers. In the material world, everyone has little control. Like for example, in a family, the husband may be controlling, he is the controller of the house, right? Similarly, a king is there, he is the controller of the nation. So a manager is there who is the controller of a company. And above that, Brahma, Lord Brahma is there, he is controlling the whole universe. So the Devatas, they control different affairs. Like Varuna, he is the controller of water. Indra, he is the controller of rain. Agni, he is the controller of fire. So there are so many controllers are there. And Yamaraj, he is the superintendent of death. But above all of them is the supreme person. Who is that? Krishna, who controls everyone and everything. And that's what Prahlad Maharaj is saying. Supreme controller. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ishvara Sarvabhutanam Hrideshi Arjuna Tishtati. He is situated in the hearts of all living beings. So therefore, he is the ultimate controller. So Krishna, although he is there in his abode, Vaikuntha or Goloka Vrindavan, but he is also present in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So there is a Sanskrit word here, infallible. What is the infallible? The Sanskrit word is Achyuta for that. So why Krishna is called as Achyuta? Means he never falls from his position. So what does it mean? We are all Jivatma, conditioned souls. So we fall down from our position that what we make mistakes, we forget many things in our life, we commit mistakes, we become illusioned, and our senses can cheat us. But contrary to this is the Supreme Lord, because he never becomes bewildered or he never forgets anything. He doesn't make any mistakes or he not lose his power. So under any situation, he does not come under any material influence. That is why Krishna is known as Achyuta, infallible. So therefore, a devotee can completely depend on the Lord because he never fails. So there is another word, infatigable. What is infatigable means? He never becomes tired, means suppose we do some activity, after some time we become exhausted, right? You do some exercise, you walk, or you become exhausted after working or thinking or speaking or doing some responsibility, carrying out some responsibility. But the Lord is not like that. Countless universes, Krishna is maintaining so many millions of universes. We are in a small universe, but actually there are countless universes are there. Just like one big company, they have so many branches all over the world, their company. They are managing. Same way, Krishna is managing all the living entities. He is supplying food to all the living entities. And everyone is under his control. Yet Krishna does not become tired. In fact, Krishna doesn't even directly have to involve in all these things. He is happily enjoying with the gopis. Is all the time he is dancing and having nice time with his devotees, pure devotees. So, but everything is going on under his control. So that is the Supreme Lord. Another example is that the sun illuminates millions of places simultaneously without being exhausted. Like every day we are seeing that sun is so much of heat is coming, but still he does not reduce. He can able to supply the heat unlimitedly for millions of years also. Still he does not get exhausted. Same way, the Lord maintains all creation effortlessly. So Prahlad is describing the glories of Krishna, because unless we understand how great Krishna is, we will not be able to develop our attachment, love for Krishna. Generally, we like someone, or we get attached to someone because there is some extraordinary qualities about them. There is something, skills or something like that. So the more we understand about Krishna, the more our attachment become automatically increases towards him. So it's a natural thing. And now it is mentioned here, he is present in all the forms of the life, all the stavara, such as the plants, insects, reptiles, so many things, right? Bird, dog, human being, all the devatas, even Brahma. So everyone, he is present with everywhere. So this is something which cannot be done by anybody. The Supreme Lord is present in all forms of life as the indwelling controller, Antaryami, sustaining, maintaining, and giving existence to all. So Krishna is the one who actually, like for example, we are eating nice food stuff. We don't know how it is getting digested, how the energy is transmitted. We may know through medically some information, but how, who designed these things? Who is carrying out all these things? This is by Krishna's inconceivable energy. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am the one who is the digesting fire in everyone's stomach, right? If Krishna's digestive power is not there, then we cannot relish eating food. So therefore, Krishna is saying he is the overseer and permitter. Without Krishna's mercy, nothing is possible. We cannot do anything unless he grants. Although we make efforts, ultimately Krishna is the supreme controller in every form of life. Therefore, he is present in everybody's heart as Paramatma. So this we need to understand. Not only living, even the plants, the insects, birds, reptiles, everything Krishna is the supreme controller. So from the inert living beings, Stavara, plants, to everything, Krishna is present in the as a form of Paramatma. Up to Brahma, Lord Brahma. Even Brahma is the secondary creator. How is he able to do the Srishti? It is because of Lord Krishna who gives this power. Otherwise, Brahma cannot create. In the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, this is very detailed and described that how Brahma he does tapasya to get power from Krishna. He get the knowledge how to create this material world. So that's why Prahlad is teaching here that Krishna is everywhere, not only in temple, he is present in everywhere, even in the heavenly planets, in a sacred place, everywhere, in everyone's heart, in every condition of life, Krishna is present in all the beings. So the Supreme Lord is infallible, infatigable, and he is accompanying each and every living entity. So that is what one part of that sloka. The second part of the sloka is, he is also present in all the varieties of material elements and in the material creations, material elements, and the total material energy and the modes of material nature. Sattva guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, as well as the unmanifested nature of the false ego. So he is present in all the creations means what? He is everywhere. We see the mountains, we see the rivers, we see the trees, we see the animals, we see the human beings, and all this Tattva Guna, Tamo Guna, Rajo Guna, who is controlling all these things? It's all again by Krishna's inconceivable power. So he is present everywhere and he is also the transcendental super soul of all creations. So that's the main part of this particular phrase, particular paragraph. So earth, water, fire, air and ether, these are the 5 material elements we know, by which our body itself is made up of 5 gross material elements, and above this there is a mind, intelligence and ego. So Krishna is there everywhere. He is the transcendental super soul. He is within all beings, knower of all, independent and witnessing all, always pure and perfect. So that's the main theme. So just like a clay pot exists because of clay, without clay there can be no pot. Similarly, without the Lord's energy, there can be no creation at all. So therefore, Krishna is present in every created object through his energy. So before the creation, where were all these elements? So somebody may ask, where was earth, water, fire, air, ether before the creation? So the answer is given in Bhagavatam. They were all existing in a dormant state. That state is called Pradhan or Mahat Tattva. That's the total stock of material ingredients. So the detailed description is there in the Bhagavatam, how creation takes place step by step, how Brahma creates, make Srishti, everything is described. So we know these 3 guna is there. Right? What is the 3 gunas? Sattva guna. Sattva guna means it produces knowledge, purity, peacefulness. So example, the saintly behavior, wisdom, self-control. These are all mode of goodness. And Rajoguna means passion. Passion means it produces ambitions. There's a constant desire, constant activity. Example, business, competition, material achievement. All these are all comes under Rajoguna. And Tamoguna means ignorance, produces laziness, illusion, violence, forgetfulness, intoxication. All this comes under Tamoguna. So all these 3 guna, every living being is activated by these invisible ropes. They are controlled by the 3 ropes. Just like a puppet, puppet. You have seen puppet show. You will not see the thread which is connecting them. It looks like the puppet is moving up and down, but who is controlling? There's a thread above. Somebody is controlling through the thread. Same way, we are all actually controlled by these 3 modes of material nature. Although we don't know, we think that we are actually acting. But the forces of material nature, Sattva-guna and Rajoguna, Tamoguna, the combination of these 3 gunas makes us to act at different situation at different way. That's why there are so many different kinds of people are there in this material world. Each person is not same as another person because these 3 gunas are mixed in different combination. Therefore, Prahlad is pointing out that the 3 controls, the 3 guna control, he is the controller of these 3 guna. Just like a king may supervise a prison, but the king is not a prisoner. Similarly, Krishna controls goodness, passion and ignorance. That we need to understand. And then the false ego, the unmanifested material nature. The false ego is the one, it makes us to think under the actually, the real ego is that we have to understand we are servant of Krishna, eternal servant of Krishna. But under false ego makes us to think I am a male, I am a female, I am a rich person, I am a poor person, I am an Indian, I am an European, American. All this identification comes because of ahankar, false ego. So even this false ego functions under Krishna's supervision. So therefore, he is the cause. Why he is the cause of all causes? Because everything is maintained by him. And he is the sustainer. Everything is, he is the originator of everything. That's why he is the cause. And he is the sustainer, maintained by him. And Paramatma, he creates and accompanies every living being. So therefore, Prahlad is saying the Lord is present everywhere. So we should not mistake here. Prahlad is not saying everything is God. Rather, we should understand, he teaches that everything depends on God. Some people make a mistake. They say that everything is God. Not everything is God. Chair is not God. A mountain is not God. False ego is not God. But all these exist because of Krishna's energy and control. For example, we have electricity. With electricity, a fan, a heater, the electricity powers a fan, heater, and refrigerator. The electricity is present in all of them, but the appliances are not the power station. Similarly, the Lord pervades everything through his energy, but he remains the supreme person behind everything. So therefore, we need to understand that Prahlad is teaching us the Supreme Lord is the source, controller, maintainer, and he is also the witness of everything. So if we are conscious of this one, then we can easily relate with Krishna, because whatever you see, you can relate with Krishna because they are all energy of Krishna. Okay. So another part of this sloka is that Prahlad is saying he is indicated as that which is pervaded, and as the all-pervading super soul, but actually he cannot be indicated. He is changeless and undivided. He is simply perceived as the supreme Satchidananda. So what does it mean? So he is indicated as that which is pervaded and as the pervading super soul, but he cannot be indicated. What does it mean? It means he is a super soul in everyone's heart, and he is as the all pervading Brahman. He is there, and he is the source of creation. He is the controller of energies. But none of these descriptions fully define him. So we may know about Krishna all these things, but yet Krishna is beyond all these things. Just like you see a sun, you can see the sunshine, you can see the sunlight, you can see the sun globe and the sun god. But even if you know all these things, it does not completely explain the sun. Same way, Supreme Lord is far greater than any description we can give. We can have some idea about God, but we cannot, even with that little understanding, we cannot say God is this much only, because he is Adokshada, means he is beyond the reach of material senses and mental speculation. So what does it mean by he is changeless and undivided? So are we changeable or we are also changeless?
We are changeable.
Yeah, we are changeable. We are constantly changing. Our body is constantly changing because we undergo birth, growth, maintenance, and we have byproducts. And then finally we dwindle and our body get destructed. But the Supreme Lord is unchangeable. He appears as it is as Satchidananda Vigraha. So Prabhupada describes Krishna at the time of Kurukshetra war, he was all for material calculation is almost 125 years before he took birth as a child. But he was looking a 16-year-old boy always. Navayovanam. So that is the Supreme Lord. That's why he's called as unchangeable. So that's why he said Satchit Ananda, means he is simply perceived as a supreme. Sat means eternal existence, Chit means perfect knowledge, and Ananda means unlimited knowledge. We also, as soul, we have this quality, but we are temporarily now in this covered by this material body, which is always changing. That is a problem now. Now, the question is asked why the atheists are not able to see Krishna. So, Prahlad is giving the answer. The answer is they are covered by the curtain of the external energy. Maya apulsita jnana asuram bhavamasrita. Krishna is saying in the Bhagavad Gita. By the curtain of external energy, he is covered to the atheist. That Krishna, God is not absent, but atheist vision, because the atheist vision is covered, they are not able to see Krishna. Whereas a devotee like Prahlad, he is able to see Krishna everywhere. So in the same episode, we are going to see later, Hiranyakashipu is going to ask Prahlad, where is your Vishnu? So Prahlad is seeing everywhere, but Hiranyakashipu is not able to see. Just like, for example, when clouds cover the sky, the person may say there is no sun, but the sun is still there. So the problem is not with the sun, the problem with the observer's vision. Similarly, Krishna is everywhere. So God, Krishna is everywhere. Krishna is very close to all of us. He is in the present as super soul in our heart. And he is maintaining all the living beings. But those who have eyes, those who have the knowledge to see Krishna, they can only perceive Krishna. So this is the curtain of external energy. So Prabhupada always say Maya. So Maya makes one think that I am this body, there is no God. So everything happens by chance. Matter is ultimate reality. So these are all because when a person is influenced by false ego and material desires, for them it's very difficult to see. And one who has sinful habits and one who have atheistic association, for them, even though he may try to see God, the Krishna is not revealed to them. So therefore, he has to purify. So why is a devotee can see, why atheist cannot? Because a devotee is chanting Hare Krishna, right? Therefore, he is able to see Krishna everywhere. He is practicing, he is hearing about Krishna, is chanting his holy name. Therefore, Krishna is able to reveal. Right. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada wants us to understand that Krishna, Prahlad Maharaj is saying that Krishna is everywhere. He is telling to his classmate, don't think that Krishna is not here. He is present everywhere. He is present in your heart as Paramatma. He is very close to you. He is closely observing you. So but your material intelligence cannot reveal them. If you want to know about Krishna, first you have to practice devotional service. Through hearing and chanting only, one gradually realize Krishna. That is the qualification for seeing Krishna. Okay, so this is the complete description of that 4 slokas. Now I'll see text 24. Tasmat sarveshu bhuteshu dayam kuruta sauhridam bhavam asuram unmuchya yaya tushyati adokshajaha. Can someone read the translation, please?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. Go ahead.
Translation. Therefore, my dear young friends born of demons, please act in such a way that the Supreme Lord, who is beyond the conception of material knowledge, will be satisfied. Give up your demoniac nature and act without enmity or duality. Show mercy to all living entities by enlightening them in devotional service, thus becoming their well-wishers. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So Prahlad is instructing his friends, his classmates, that now you understand that about Krishna, he is present in everywhere. That now what you have to do, you should give up your demonic nature and don't develop any enmity with anyone and show mercy to all living entities by giving them devotional service, enlighten them by devotional service, and you become well-wisher. So the same thing applies to all of us also. How is it? That we'll see now. So Prahlad now explained the futility of material life. He told about everything, how the bondage causing by lust, greed, and family attachment without Krishna consciousness. And we also discussed about how important the rarity of human life and how is it important to take shelter of Krishna. Now Prahlad is telling the classmate what they should do after learning all these things, what we are supposed to do. So this is practically the mission statement of a devotee. So this is what we are supposed to do. Prahlad is giving us a direction. Okay, we have learned Bhagavatam, we have learned all these things. Then what are we supposed to do? So the practical thing, what are we do? We should be a plan. In Krishna's plan, what are we supposed to do? That is what he is saying now. So first is he's saying act in such a way that the Supreme Lord will be satisfied. So that we need to understand our life is, we have to live in such a way Krishna is satisfied with us. Now in the material world, we are trying to satisfy so many people, but the result we are not getting. Either the person whom we are trying to satisfy, he is not happy, or even when you serve your best, you are giving your best of your service, we are also not satisfied. So we need to understand the real purpose of life. So Prahlad teaches that success in the material world, success is measured by wealth, how much wealth you have, how much fame you have, how much power you have, how much education you have, what is your social status. But with all these things, is Krishna is pleased? Haritoshanam. Haritoshanam means perfection of all activities is pleasing the Supreme Lord. Have you pleased Krishna? That is the purpose of life. If you have pleased Krishna, then you have achieved your purpose of life. So this is what Prahlad is teaching here. So Hiranyakashipu, he became emperor of all the 14 planetary system. What is the use? He is not pleasing Krishna. In fact, he is displeasing Krishna by torturing Prahlad, who is a pure devotee. Right? So that is not pleasing to Krishna. So we have to measure our success in our life. Have we lived our life in trying to please Krishna? This is the most important question every devotee should ask. How much time in a day I am trying to please Krishna? That is the ultimate purpose of life. So we may say a devotee is also working and another non-devotee is also working in a company. But one works for simply money, for enjoying himself, but another works honestly and offers the results to Krishna. He maintains his family, he spends his money to preach Krishna consciousness, to spread Krishna consciousness. So there is a gulf of difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. So Prahlad is reminding his friends that Krishna is known as Adokshada, means he cannot be understood merely by academic degrees. Hmm? He cannot be understood like that by logic or by scientific speculation. Hmm? Because he is called as Adokshada, is beyond our material senses, reach of our senses. So how can we please Krishna? Only by bhakti, only by humility, hmm? Only by surrender, not by because our intellectual brilliance. For example, a child may know many scientific facts about sunlight, but only when he opens his eyes, he can see the sun. Similarly, Krishna is understood through devotion, not just barely by information. So therefore, Prahlad is saying, give up your demonic nature. He is not saying that simply referring to being born in a demon family. He is saying asuric nature. Asuric name means asuric bhava. That means what are the asuric bhava? We have pride, envy, selfishness, lust, greed, and forgetfulness. These are the things we have. So we have to give up these things and we have to develop humility, compassion, friendliness, purity, and love of God. So unless we do these things, we cannot come closer to Krishna. This is the point we need to understand. It's called Devi Sampat. Krishna says, talks detail in Bhagavad Gita. Divine qualities, humility, compassion, truthfulness, that we have to develop. When you become a devotee, automatically these qualities will start manifesting. So therefore he is instructing his classmates that you should become Nirvaira, means you should not have enmity. You should not have enmity or duality with anyone. In the material world, there is so much of hatred, revenge, envy, discrimination, and that's why so many wars are going all over the world. The reason is all these things because of demonic quality. Because they don't want to see other people prospering, and there is always a revenge. So this is all because of demonic mentality. So because they don't understand that everyone is part and parcel of God, Supreme Lord. Everyone is a child of God. Just like I have the right, similarly all other living entities also have the right to live. So there is no way we can interfere in others' freedom. Mhm. Just like the sun shines equally on everyone, the saint, the sinner, rich, poor, similarly a devotee wishes good for everyone. Only a devotee can be a well-wisher of every living entity. That is possible because of his spiritual knowledge. And Prahlad is saying, show mercy to all living entities, the highest compassion. So, not only human beings, all living entities they are also children of Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Yoneshu Kaunteya Murtaya Sambhavaha. He is the seed-giving father. I am Aham Bija Prada. He is the seed-giving father of all living entities. So if you have this knowledge, then you will show mercy to all living entities. So there will not be any unnecessary animal killing will not be allowed. Because people don't have God consciousness, they think that everything is made for their enjoyment. So they can indiscriminately kill animals. So that's why so much of sinful activities is going on and people have to suffer for all these things. If you create pain to other living entities, Krishna is not is not going to be happy. Huh? So that is not showing to mercy to all living entities. So therefore, we have to show real compassion. So real compassion means helping the soul. Because every soul is suffering because of ignorance, repeated birth, old age, disease, and death. So many people are not aware that they have suffering because of these things, because they are in complete ignorance. They only know the temporary things. So we can help a person giving a temporary help, address the temporary problems. You can give some monetary help or physical help to cure the body. These are all good. But we need to understand, unless the spiritual knowledge is given, the root problem is not solved. So therefore, Prahlad is saying that you should be compassionate. How? By giving. Prahlad is saying you should teach them, you should guide them, uplift them, inspire them. That is the real enlighten them in devotional service. So that is what exactly what Prahlad has to do. We have to first learn the science of Krishna and give it to others. Unless you give the science of Krishna to others, people cannot be saved. And they have to, uh, unless they learn the science of Krishna, the root problem is not solved. The root cause of disease is not solved. So therefore, Prahlad says this is the greatest welfare work. What is the greatest welfare work? To give them enlighten them in devotional service. Because bhakti purifies the heart, it destroys the ignorance, and it awakens love for Krishna, and therefore it frees from material bondage. Like for example, if a person is sleeping in a burning house, you give him a pillow, is it kindness? Waking up is a greater kindness. Similarly, material help is useful, but spiritual awakening is the highest welfare activity. So most people doesn't have knowledge of Atma, does not have knowledge of Krishna, science of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. They are engaged in altruistic activities. They want to do good for others by giving, all kinds of material welfare, but it will not withstand for a long time unless one is awakened to spiritual knowledge. Therefore, Prahlad is saying, become a true well-wisher, Suhrida Sarva Bhutanam. So, only a devotee can become a genuine friend of all. In the material world, we have so many friends, we have so many relatives, but none of them can be equal to a devotee, because a devotee knows how to solve the root cause of the problem everyone undergoing. So most friendships we see in this material world because of family, business, nationality, personal benefit. But Prahlad is teaching a universal friendship. Hmm. So true well-wisher means if you help anyone to become a devotee by making them to remember Krishna, by making them to chant Hare Krishna, and by giving the knowledge of the Atma, by cultivate devotion, this is the true well-wishing act. So we need to understand. So we should not be sentiment. Sometimes, devotees are accused, what you are doing welfare activity. You are not doing anything. Go to that hospital, engage them in, giving them some medicine. They think that is the best service. But they don't understand that treatment, there are different treatments are required, not just only the body treatments. And ISKCON is also a spiritual, it's also considered like a hospital. ISKCON is like a college and hospital where you get knowledge of the soul and treatment for the soul. And that's why both are required. That's why in temple, if you go, the prasadam is given. Why? If somebody takes prasadam, it takes out the care of the body also. It takes care of your hunger also, but at the same time, you are spiritually awakened. You come to know about Atma, come to know about Krishna. So real welfare activity can be done by Krishna, only by the devotee. So that we need, that's why Prahlad is teaching here. So further, in the same purport, Prahlad, he is describing that Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktyamam Abhijananti. One can understand the Supreme Personality as only by devotional service. So this is a very important thing. That why only Bhakti can reveal Krishna? Because Prahlad is repeatedly saying that material knowledge cannot reveal Krishna. You may have so many degrees, but that will not help Krishna. That's not what Krishna wants. We might have so much of wealth also. That all can be utilized for Krishna's service. Then it becomes valuable. So we may take birth in a very high qualified family, academic scholarship. All these things, if you utilize for Krishna, then it will be helpful. Because if you utilize all those skills to develop your bhakti, then it all adds value to it. But without developing bhakti, it is all big zeros only. But with Krishna, one followed by all zeros, it has got value. Otherwise, all the things you put zero first and then at the end you put one, the value is very less. Same way, all our things must be connected to Krishna. So that's why it says Tatpataha. Tatpataha means that in truth. Means many people know God is there, but very few people know actually the nature of God. So Krishna's name, pastimes, philosophy, maybe some people know about it, but still they cannot understand Krishna unless they do devotional service to Krishna. So that's the main point. Right? So for example, that a chemistry student may know everything about honey, chemical formula, color, density, composition, but unless he tastes it, he never knows its sweetness. Similarly, there are many scholars who talks on Bhagavad Gita. They may know hundreds of verses, but without bhakti, he cannot experience Krishna. That's why we always stress on this point that one has to chant the holy name of Krishna. One has to do practical devotional service. And here, chanting and hearing and remembering and about Krishna, these activities only can bring us closer to Krishna. So when we hear about Krishna, when we talk about Krishna, when we discuss about Krishna, all these activities are pure devotional service. So why did Prahlad teach his friends compassion of a pure devotee? Because a devotee is the one who knows, he knows already that he can be liberated, he knows the path, but he is not satisfied. He wants others also to be liberated. So we will see Prahlad. That's why it's called Paradukka Dukhi. Prahlad is called Paradukka Dukhi. A devotee feels pain seeing others suffer. He cannot tolerate seeing people trapped in ignorance, lust, greed. So therefore, he is the real well-wisher. He is the highest welfare. That's why Prahlad is saying the highest welfare activity is teach Krishna consciousness. So don't just, that is the problem. In today's world, we may think that we don't have so much of wealth, or we don't have so many things in our life. But the real problem is what we lack. We lack Krishna consciousness. We don't have sufficient knowledge about Krishna, or sufficient, we don't do sufficient devotional service to Krishna. That is the real problem. That is a real disease. Bhava Roga. Roga means disease. Bhava Roga, the disease of material existence. And what are the symptoms? That's why we have to undergo birth, death, old age, and disease. So our money, wealth, power, beauty, all this can give temporarily relief suffering. But bhakti addresses the root problem. That is why Prahlad is stressing that if you are a real well-wisher, you must teach about Krishna to others. That is your real welfare activity. For example, a patient has cancer and you may give him comfortable furniture, good clothes, entertainment, make him temporarily happy, but the disease remains. So therefore, a real doctor treats the root cause. Similarly, preaching Krishna conscious means that treats the root disease of ignorance. And anyone who does preaching service, he is benefited. How is benefited? Our own faith will increase. Our own understanding will deepens, and our devotion becomes stronger. That's why Prahlad is advising all of us that you should become a preacher. You must preach. A teacher learns a subject more deeply when teaching it. Yeah? It is very easy to hear, but when you have to teach, you have to learn more. A devotee grows spiritually by helping others grow spiritually. So therefore, we have to learn nicely and talk about Krishna to others. Generally, Indians are very, very shy to talk about God. That is the biggest drawback, because we lack of knowledge, we lack so many things. Therefore, we feel very shy to talk about Krishna to others. But actually, it is not so. If we learn properly, we can also talk about Krishna. And there are many misunderstandings about preaching. Preaching does not mean forcing our beliefs, arguing aggressively, or condemning others. That's not preaching. Preaching means sharing our wisdom, inspiring others, teaching by example, speaking about Krishna, helping others to awaken spirituality. So here, Prahlad, he is preaching by his words. He is not forcing his classmates. He is telling the science of Krishna by his behavior, by his fearlessness, his compassion. Even though his father is torturing him, but he remains humble, kind, devoted. He is not angry towards his father also, or towards his teacher also. But by behavior, he is showing how a devotee should respond. Therefore, he is saying, Prahlad is saying, sons of demons. He is not condemning. He knows all these classmates, they are all sons of demons. They are all totally atheistic people. But yet, he saw them as part and parcel of Krishna. And therefore, he is not giving up his hope. He is teaching them also to become devotee. So this is what a devotee should see, that no anyone can become a devotee of Krishna if he is taught properly, if he is given the knowledge. This we need to understand. Hmm? So finally he says, one can, here we see that serve is a humanity. So Prahlad is saying the highest expression of love of Krishna is to help other souls reconnect with Krishna. Hmm? So therefore Prabhupada is stressing why a devotee become dear to Krishna. Because preaching activity is not there, now we have got so many atheistic class people. They are openly criticizing Sanatan Dharma. They are saying Sanatan Dharma is to be eradicated. It is so ironical that to be in the land of Sanatan Dharma, somebody is speaking that it should be eradicated, and people are just keeping quiet because they don't know what it is. What is this talking about? That we have allowed so many people to come and speak openly, it is because what is the reason? Because people are supposed to know what is the science of Krishna, and they are not following all these things. Now today is a situation where anyone can, any Tom and Dick and Harry can speak anything nonsense in the land of Sanatan Dharma. So that is the condition now. Because the reason is that the message of Bhagavad Gita is not reaching to people. We need millions of preachers are required. If there are so many people of Krishna conscious, will there be anyone able to open the mouth and talk like this? It's not possible. But because he has the audacity to speak anything and people will not do anything, that's why this atheistic class of people are speaking anything nonsense. And there is no one to question. And there is no law, even though the laws are there, but nobody can take any action. So this is the condition what we are in today's situation. That is all because of the common man, because you don't know the science of Krishna, you don't know what is Bhagavad Gita, you don't know what is Bhagavatam. Therefore, he is not able to defend or take action against all these atheistic people. Hmm? So therefore, Prahlad is saying that you must preach. Krishna himself comes to the material world. For what reason? Paritranahaya sadhunam vinashaya sa dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So Krishna comes dharma samsthapanarthaya. So the dharma is what? To establish our relationship with Krishna. That is the dharma of the each and every living entity. That's why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving that Yare Deka Tare Kaha Krishna Upadesh. Means to whomever you meet, you should talk about Krishna and teach them about Krishna. That is the duty of everyone. Bharata Bhumite Hela Manusha Janma Sarthaka Karikara Para Upakar. So the biggest welfare activity is to give about Krishna to others. And that's what his mission. So when you become a preacher, when you become a devotee, you become a part of Lord's mission. You become just like people want to get a job in government job. Why? Because if you get a government job, your life is settled, you are safe. People think like that. But imagine if you get in the mission of the Lord, Supreme Lord, you are recruited in the mission of the Supreme Lord. How great Krishna will be protect you. That we don't realize. So we should join the army of Krishna, just like Arjuna. He became an instrument in Krishna's service. Same way, we are all supposed to be an instrument in Krishna's service. Therefore, we must understand this three simple formula. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, if you understand that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and he is the supreme owner of everyone and he is an eternal friend. If you understand this one, then there will be peace and tranquility in the world. So, because people think that everyone wants to be the enjoyer, and everyone wants to possess everything, and therefore they cannot become the best friend or well-wisher. And they don't realize that God is the my well-wisher, is my best friend. So because people don't know these three simple things, they are suffering in this material world. So our job is what? We have to somehow or other bring Krishna, give Krishna. We have to make understand that your true friend is Krishna and he is the real well-wisher of you. There may be so many other well-wisher will be there, but Krishna is the supreme well-wisher of all of you. So this point we need to make them understand, and that's what Prahlad wants us to do. Okay, so therefore it is a great opportunity for all of us. Now we are reading these teachings of Prahlad. We should act upon what Prahlad is saying, right? By practicing Krishna consciousness, systematically studying and sharing this knowledge with others. That's what we are supposed to do. And if you do this simple thing, then we get the mercy of Prahlad. We are carrying out the instruction of Prahlad. And this is what will give you real happiness in your life. And that's what Prabhupada showed us. He became very compassionate, no? Why he has to go to Western country and preach at the advanced stage? Because he was carrying out the instruction of Prahlad. That's what every devotee should try to do. With whatever capacity we have, we must give this science, teach the science of Krishna to as many as people as we can. Right? Okay, it's time up already. Do you have any questions or comments? So, okay, there's no question. I will share the slides in the group. You can go through it. Okay. So please try to chant Hare Krishna and try to attend some satsanga wherever you are. And in this way you can improve and share this knowledge with others also. Okay. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai. Vancha kalpatrubhesya kripa sindhubhyevacha. Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.